Disneyland proudly presents.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Diz Unlimited podcast. This is episode 45, and I am Rhino. I'll be leading the our fun Disney discussion today, and joining me is none other than Dreams Unlimited travel agent Hannah Anderson.
Oh, hey.
And we've got our Diz theme park correspondent Chloe Ferreira.
Hey, howdy, hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Before we get too far into this, I just want to remind everybody that this and everything that we do here is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. They are experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. When you book with them, it costs you nothing extra on your trip, and you help support the channel and all the content that we produce here. So check them out, dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. It is also brought to you by our Patreon supporters. If you want to learn more about how you can get exclusive content from different members of the Diz team, you can head over to patreon.com/DizUnlimited. And that does include learning how to be a part of our Patreon after show, or I keep doing that. It's called the Patreon post show because it happens immediately following this show. So sometimes we take a little break for lunch. Today, I think it's going to happen pretty much right after this show. So stay tuned. You can learn more about that. Everybody in the $5 and up tier gets to be a part of that, to watch that insanity unfold in our office. We try to make it cozy. We try to make it fun. I don't know if I always succeed, but we try. And that's all that matters. So
and we
again,
are going to have fun today.
We
I
are.
do know that.
We got a little, we're doing a fun little taste testing and of there's some Oreos that a listener sent us too. That's she's very invested. Jennifer, thank you for those. So again, that is patreon.com/DizUnlimited. Before we get into the Disney discussion, I just want to let everyone know that Teresa is not on the show today because sadly, her beloved cat, Klaus, passed away. Now, if you've ever met Teresa, you know how important Klaus was to her. Dare I say that cat was another child in her household, and perhaps her favorite child at that. I can't even imagine how she's feeling right now, so we're sending her lots of love. I can't talk about it too much, or I will start crying because I was crying just like when she was talking about it, and it's very sad. So, send her some love, send her some good vibes. She definitely needs it during this time of mourning.
We love you, Teresa.
Yeah, we love you so much, and we're
thinking of you.
Yeah, we're devastated on your behalf too. So I just so sorry about that. But let's check in. Hey, how are you guys? How was your weekend? What'd you get up to? Debauchery? Anyone? Debauchery?
Oh yeah,
Debauchery?
Always.
TP any houses?
Did I what?
TP any houses?
Oh, yeah. No, I only do it on Halloween night
okay.
for me. But, yeah, I had kind of a slow weekend for once. It was nice. I caught up with some friends I hadn't seen in a while. So
I don't believe you.
What? Did I have friends? Yeah.
She told me before the show she doesn't even like Friends.
Oh.
How's she have them if she don't watch the show?
That's a good point. What about you, Chloe?
I thought you were asking if she TP'd like some HHN houses or something. I was like,
she bought a ticket.
I probably would.
Just like the walkthrough houses.
Yeah, but Hannah can't go to Universal anymore. She was arrested for throwing toilet paper at
and talking to all the scary actors.
Yeah,
I know. So that would surprise you guys.
My weekend was ultimately, quieter in terms. Rhino was out of town, so Rhino's my HHN buddy.
Hey.
So what's up?
No, I wasn't. I was only. Go on. Sorry, finish and then
you were not available to go to HHN with me, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I went for a little bit, but not as much as I would typically. But I did get to watch some spooky movies.
Ooh, what'd you watch?
Yeah, like what?
I watched Villains.
Mamma Mia, here we go again.
Villains with Bill Skarsgård and Maika Malone.
I don't think
I
haven't
seen
heard
that.
that.
Oh, it's very,
Okay.
very good.
Ooh.
No, it's not new. It's a rewatch for me. It's very, very good. I highly recommend. I also watched Trick or Treat, classic Halloween time movie.
Watched that last week.
But one that's
Did you
a
see the
surprise-
Roosevelt shirts coming out tomorrow?
Yes, I know today.
Or, today, yeah.
Yeah, today.
Today,
I did.
I think the drop is at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and it's all Trick or Treat. I can't wait. So
I'll have
excited.
to look at them all.
Yeah.
The one movie though that was a surprise was recommended from one of my good friends. I had no idea this movie existed in this way, but it came out in 2014. It's called The Guest. And it's oddly a Halloween time movie. Like there's tons of like vintage Halloween imagery.
I remember the name.
And orange
too,
twinkle lights. And the story is actually, it's like Terminator-esque. It's really good.
Okay.
I was really surprised.
What was
so
it
yeah.
on?
I had to rent it off Prime, so it was like $3.
What is up with that? I
She's
feel
got-
like every Halloween movie I've gone to watch, they're like, you have to rent it. And I'm like, I have all the
I know
subscription
all the
services.
streaming. I
Yeah.
know.
Why? But
You know
It's
what?
my Redbox reserve.
I have
Oh.
never seen Evil Dead 2. I've seen the
I own it.
original Evil Dead.
I own
I've
it.
seen the remake. I haven't seen Evil Dead Rise, but I've seen the show Ash vs. Evil Dead. But I've never seen 2, and I've only seen half of like Army of Darkness. And I said, oh, well, this weekend I went to correct it, and the only Evil Dead movie that's not streaming on anything, literally the only one, Evil Dead 2. And
well,
I'm just like,
I
it's
have
crazy.
it, so we'll watch it together, please.
Chloe did say I was out of town. So
yeah, let's talk about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So my friends over at Box Lunch, if you don't know this, I'm a part of the Box Lunch Collective. They sent me an email and they were like, "Hey, Rhino," they were like, would you be interested in participating in this volunteer event that we're having in Atlanta? We'll bring you up there." And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Anything to give back to the community. I like being a part of things like that. I was that annoying person in high school who kept organizing those sort of things. Like, oh,
Same.
we got to do the car washes. We got to do the food drives. We got to do the thing, so we volunteered at the Atlanta Community Food Bank. I need to tell you this. So I think they said in the orientation video there's 8 of them. It might have been 6. I can't remember. There's 6 to 8 of them. This is so I've only ever done like food banks in like towns where it's like in a church basement or something like that. This thing was like an IKEA warehouse. It
Wow.
was massive. I sorted onions for like 3 hours. We as a group, there was like 30 of us, sorted like something like over 5,000 pounds of food.
Wow.
Because what you don't know is like sometimes when food gets donated or stuff like that, it comes in these large bulks, and they have like certain set limits that they parse out, to be able to give to people. Like, the potatoes have to get separated, the onions get separated and stuff. And
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes into it. But the operation that they run here is just absolutely incredible. It was the people that worked at this food bank, the people that volunteered there. It was just like such a fun vibe. Obviously the byproduct of it was the Box Lunch giving ambassador right now is David Harbour, who plays Hopper on Stranger Things. So I did get to bag onions with David Harbour, and I made him laugh.
Oh,
And,
of course you did.
I showed him my tattoo.
Ooh, which
Your
one?
Stranger Things tattoo?
My little Demogorgon head, on
Good
the
for
side of my
you.
leg and stuff. He was
Yeah.
super, super nice guy. He went around. He talked to everybody. He was
Very cool.
bagging up the things. It was a lot of fun. It was one of those where I was like, play it cool, man, play it cool.
So
But-
now
You
now
made
need to
him
get a little
laugh.
David Harbour face tattoo somewhere. on your body.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
then
That's
the
what
next
I
time you're
heard.
bagging onions with David Harbour, you'd be like, "Hey, I got a sequel for you."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called Find the Tattoo.
Oh.
But the reason why I bring this up, so I posted a picture of me and him, and somebody got a little mouthy with me on my Instagram about being like, people who volunteer don't need to talk about why they volunteer, that I was trying to feed my
Oh.
ego. Here's what I'm going to acknowledge to that. And I know people are saying, oh, the haters, and don't read all the comments. Listen, that's fine. You can volunteer and not talk about it. But there are a ton of great causes. And I think sometimes there's a lot of people, myself included, who are too anxious or nervous and don't know how to get involved in the process. So if you are somebody who volunteers, I would encourage you to talk about it as much as you can, because it could be the thing that gets other people excited. It could get people to break down that barrier. It could, sometimes you just need somebody. Sometimes you need to hold somebody's hand to get you to that first step, and then you do it. And I think spreading that knowledge and awareness of the fact that there are these places that you could go, or the process of getting involved in this, I think that's incredible. Like Disney itself, I know with cast members, they do the volunteers program, but they at D23, I mean, Chloe, Hannah, I don't know if you saw it, but they had a big volunteers booth where we went through and we did a similar thing where we sorted all of the like the product, like the it was like mouthwash, deodorant, things like that. They all went into a specific pouch. And you're like, yeah, it's that process where I didn't think about it, where you're like, you
Right.
get all these donations, but people need like a toiletry bag. And that's what we went through and sorted and stuff. And there's a lot of these great programs out there. So I would really encourage anybody who's ever like thinking about that. It can be a lot, it can be helpful in many different ways that maybe people didn't even think of.
Yeah.
So for people who say you don't need to talk about it, whatever, that's your journey. But I encourage anybody who's out there to do it. Talk about where you're volunteering. Talk about those causes that are important to you, that mean a lot to you. It's for the betterment of the community.
Can I say something really
Yes,
quick about
please.
that? So living here in Orlando, there is such a great need right outside the theme parks. And it's such a contrast, right? Because you're at Walt Disney World, you're at Universal, you're at these theme parks. People are making memories, spending money, and right outside there's such a great need. And so if you are local or if you have time on your vacation, there are numerous charities that help these families that are, living in hotels or need, maybe they are single moms or they need food, clothing, basic necessities, that are doing just really incredible work to give people a life, not just necessities, but giving them a comfortable and nice home. So I would just say that the need is especially great here in Orlando.
Yeah.
And there's so many ways that you can donate your time, your attention. There's things even, all these kids, their parents work and they need somebody to babysit or make meals or wash clothes, little things. It doesn't require just money. So anyways.
I also know there's the cast member pantry as well that helps cast members
great
in need.
cause, yeah.
And then there's a community refrigerator. I believe it's near East End Market. And you can add food to it and then people in need can
my
take
gosh, I didn't know
groceries
about
if
that.
they need it. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. The thing is, and I think Hannah and Chloe have both really emphasized that a little bit too, is that people in need, it's not always the need maybe you think it is. It's not necessarily homelessness. It's not, it's not everybody needs clothes or blankets or a thing like that. I mean, I was on a free lunch program when I was a kid. So, and I know what the optics look like sometimes from the outside versus like what the reality of the situation is.
I mean, cost of living versus having a full-time job in Orlando is just atrocious right now. So, I mean, like I said with Cast Member Pantry, there's people who are working 40, 50, 60 hours a week and still can't make ends meet. So,
yeah. So, it's just one of those things. So if you can find programs or things like that, definitely check it out. If you want to learn more, I know there's info about the Cast Pantry on the Diz at www.info.com. And that's it. If other people know things, leave some comments on this video that you can help people in different communities with, I like having that space for people to learn that. But on that note, we're actually going to flip it over and go from people in need to people I wish I had.
We're in need.
Yeah. So,
because
we're going to be wondering how you're going to do this.
Yeah,
That's good.
It's
Complete
such
opposite end.
it's literally, what do they call that? Whiplash. We have a whiplash because we're going to be talking about something incredible coming to Cotino, which is the first Storyliving Disney community located in Palm Springs, California. And I'm going to pass this one off to Closeph because she wrote the article. So take it away.
Yeah. So as part of Cotino's community, there is going to be an artisan club at any of the Storyliving developments that they're building.
Chloe, what's Storyliving?
Storyliving?
What's Storyliving?
I'm sorry. It's Disney's community. It's going to be a place where people can live within a Disney-owned community.
Throughout the United States, too,
Throughout
right?
the United States. The very first one is going to be in Palm Springs. And then
there's like a North Carolina
outside of
one?
Raleigh.
Yeah.
But this one, they've revealed some more details about the Artisan Club. The Artisan Club is going to be a voluntary membership community club. So it will be additional money to be a part of. But the theming of this one is perfect for Palm Springs. It is designed after the mid-century modern home of the Parr family, which is from The Incredibles, and this is their home in Incredibles 2. So I'm going to read through this here. We have our first look. The two-story Parr house will be a multifunctional space where club members can attend events, celebrate milestones, and even enjoy an occasional overnight stay. The Artisan Club will be dedicated to delicious dining, creative activities, fitness, water recreation on Cotino Bay, and unique programs and experiences, all provided by Disney. Imagineers and Pixar artists collaborated to bring the film to life with a creative interpretation of the mid-century modern design Palm Springs is known for. The interior will incorporate the design hallmarks of mid-century modern, clean lines, natural light, and functional furniture, while adding artistic flair in the finishes, artwork, and decor. Imagineers are also planning to add special film props. In some of the concept art, you can zoom in and see there's some boxes of cereal on the shelf that the Parrs eat, and then there's a schedule of their family schedule scribbled on the wall, but the calendar is from Insuricare, which is where Bob Parr, his insurance company that he worked at. Love those little Easter eggs. So the homes will the Artisan Club, the home, will include rooms seen in the film, including the family kitchen, an open living room, and a primary bedroom fit for Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl. I want to know more about these overnight stays that they mentioned.
Yeah.
Like, is this like Cinderella Castle kind of like randomly chosen, or is this I said that wrong. Cinderella Castle, suite randomly chosen, or are you paying a premium to stay at this club, off a lottery list or something?
Wait. So
they mentioned that
I was thinking it was
overnight.
like a clubhouse.
It is a clubhouse,
right,
but there's
both.
also bedrooms that people can occasionally stay in. They mentioned because there's also the kids' bedrooms. They have bedrooms themed after Frozone, Violet, Dash, and Jack Jack. So there's actual bedrooms.
Weird.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
think so.
I wonder. Not weird. It's weird that it's built into this community. But you're saying like it's so limited that obviously
it's going to be members who live in the community, and maybe like as a special occasion, like, hey, I want to rent out the clubhouse and have a extended guest stay,
Right.
Interesting
or something. I don't know,
Right.
But what I love about this too is that obviously I've talked about it before with Cotino, but this is all kind of inspired by Walt Disney and his creative recharges that he would have in Palm Springs. And he loved, obviously Palm Springs and Mid-Century Modern.
Yeah.
So I just love that.
Listen, we talked about it before the show. We're talking about going in on a Diz Unlimited, the Gals and Rhino getting our own little conversation pit going in Palm Springs because I want to.
Don't tempt me. I'm telling you guys, when I saw this, I was like, all my dreams have come true. And if I ever got to stay the night there, I'd chain myself to that house because it is everything I've ever wanted. Not to be dramatic. Also, they are building. We have one in here that I forget which resort it's at, but it's a pool that looks like it's the ocean or a lake. So it's going to be built on one of those.
Wait, in Palm Springs?
Yeah. It's going to be in the neighborhood in Cotino.
Sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
They have one here. I forget which of the resorts
Yeah.
it is here. But anyways, it just looks so good.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So good. So if we know anybody,
sorry.
if you're buying there, just, call me. Let me know. I'd like to come visit you.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping to see more of the concept art for this clubhouse too, because when I watched Incredibles 2, their living room with like the sprawling rock work, and then the water features in the living room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they
That's
probably
that's the first thing I think of when you
Right?
talk about that because I was always just like the house is above the water.
Yeah. I'm hoping they're able to pull it off very screen accurately. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think we need to take a trip out there when it opens and just treat ourselves. I'm sure they'll hopefully be inviting people. But does anybody know when this is set to open?
2025.
Oh, really? It's that far along.
2025, yeah.
So have they already sold the properties?
They've.
Aren't you a real estate agent, Chloe?
No.
Oh, here we are.
I know one. They've started to sell them. They've started to build them.
How much? I'm curious how much they are. I mean, I should have asked this question before we got started, but
they're similar to Golden Oak prices.
Oh nope, just kidding. I was like, not even within a dream's breath.
The Raleigh community is going to be more, let's say, like closer to Celebration prices.
Okay,
Prices
still out of reach, but there we are.
Yeah.
If anyone has no next of kin and they feel like they want to gift us any,
We're up for adoption.
We're a package deal, though. Let's just be clear.
We will sign the estate. We'll be an estate package, and we can all take a third, and we will move the podcast to Palm Springs, California.
Heck yeah. Let's
City of Gays. All right. Well, let's talk about some stuff happening here at Walt Disney World as well. Last month, Disney teased that guests should remember to keep their eyes peeled for a familiar amigo who might pop in for mariachi Cobre performances during Hispanic and Latin American Heritage Month. The Walt Disney World
really
website.
Quick, did you write that or what was that?
I sure didn't. I definitely feel like
had.
that episode of Schitt's Creek where Bob is trying to talk to Johnny and he's just like, because you're... And he's like, Jewish? And he's like, I don't know why I can't say it. And I don't know why that episode cracks me up so much because Johnny's just like, Jewish? You're like, yeah. The Walt Disney World website has now been updated with information that Miguel from Coco is that familiar amigo. Here are the details from September 15th through October 15th, 2024. During Hispanic and Latin American Heritage Month, world-famous traditional folk musicians Mariachi Cobre celebrate together. We are Magia, including a special appearance by Miguel from the Disney and Pixar film Coco. Mariachi Cobre are now performing on select days and times in the Mexico Pavilion at Epcot. We're excited to see more Coco at Walt Disney World. I agree with Chloe. She said it before the show. Why is Miguel not already a character over there where Donald comes out in his poncho?
Yeah.
The only other place that you can see Miguel outside of this month-long celebration is he appears in the cavalcade, the Disney Adventure Friends cavalcade at Magic Kingdom. We desperately need a Coco meet and greet. I'll take Miguel. I'd really love an Ernesto de la Cruz meet and greet because...
Did you no, you abandoned me at that party. Never mind.
Oh, he was at D23 as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot
the
he came out.
performance.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so if you've gone to I think they were at Oogie Boogie Bash again this year, but
Yes.
they had him up on the I don't know, character pedestals. What do they call them? Stages.
Don't put him on a
Little
pedestal.
But
Activations.
his meet and greet,
Oh my God, he looks
it
incredible.
was so cool, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this should be like. You know what they need to do? Miguel during the day or Ernesto de la Cruz at night.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Oh, cool.
Well, what was so crazy, I have a friend in costuming at Walt Disney World, and she told me that Disneyland, like the two costuming departments across both coasts don't really talk to each other. And so when they come out with a new character like that that's exclusive to their coast, they don't really tell like Disney World about it. And so I heard costuming here was like, hey, how did you pull this off? He looks incredible. And they were gatekeeping, like they were keeping it
Wow.
a secret. So I'm like, can we end this whole
Yeah, let's
costuming
feud.
politics thing and share the love, please? Because I would love Ernesto de la Cruz to come over here.
Character interactions, character meet and greets is such an easy solve to like any sort of problem. Like just dig deep. People go crazy for these rare characters. Like look at the reaction when they finally brought out Max in his Powerline outfit.
Oh, yeah.
Give us some of these cuts. Give us or stop bringing out that weird bowler guy from Meet the Robinsons.
About that.
Enough.
Why? He's back this year. We'll see him.
I hate him.
Well,
I
The
hate
Halloween
looking at
parade.
him.
Yeah,
Are you
he's
talking
a-
about Mickey's
he's
Not So
scary.
Scary also?
No,
Like,
I'm just talking about
just-
in just a general thing like Walt Disney World. I feel like there seems to be maybe like I don't want to say shortage, but it just doesn't seem to be as lively.
I think there
Well,
is, yeah.
We talked about this with Mickey's Not Scary. We're excited to go again on October 1st. However, there's not a whole lot of new things at the parties each year. Like Oogie Boogie, they announced 2 new characters.
Why
and what
can't
have you,
I
but
meet him?
I
but know, that's such a shame.
like the character announcements that we had for Mickey's Not So Scary this time were new costumes for Mickey and Minnie, which is great, but they're only seen in the parade. We can't even meet them in those costumes.
Right.
What the heck is that
I'm
about?
also more than okay with them doing the Disneyland thing where they are up on a stage and it's literally
that's
a
even
walkthrough
better.
for a treat trail. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's a quick selfie. There's not this whole back and forth. It doesn't become a 60-minute, a 90-minute, whatever Jack and Sally got up to.
Oh,
the
I know.
dwarves
Oh
at
my
Christmas,
gosh.
they're
I
like...
know. Dwarves at Halloween too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, are they out there?
I can't remember.
I don't
No, it's
remember.
Pooh
Yeah.
and Friends.
But
dressed in Halloween
so the
costumes.
Jack and Sally line, we tried to get into that when I went with my family, and we were there at 5 p.m. and they were already like, it's a 2-3 hour wait at this point. And I mean, if you're paying for a ticket, that's a big chunk of your night.
But,
so
like,
we passed on
If
that.
we had more character options, though, like cool exclusive
Yeah,
character
spread the love.
opportunities, it would balance out those lines a lot
Yeah.
more. It's so basic, but I really just want to meet Goofy in a Halloween costume. Some of my
true.
best Halloween time memories at Disneyland is Goofy in his skeleton costume,
I
or
love
Goofy
that
in his
costume.
mummy costume on Disney Cruise Line. I love Goofy in Halloween costumes. Give it to me at Disney World.
Give me Goofy!
Give me Gooby. I want my Gooby.
Yeah, I just just that input. I feel like it's such a simple and easy thing to do. I think a balance. You said it best, Chloe, about it, there being like a balance between those like treat trail stage shows and
Yeah.
then also characters that you can interact with. Like that, I think Jack and Sally are great character interaction because you get to talk to them, and when else do you get to do that?
Yeah.
But I think at Disneyland, what's so cool is they have the Oogie Boogie that has the mouth that moves, and where they put him out there is like in that Art of Animation building. It's just such a cool place, and I know we don't have the same setup of things like that here, but I mean they finally got a Maleficent one this year and stuff. Like give us more of those Disney villains and just sprinkle them throughout everywhere.
Oh, I did notice at this year's party when you do the trick or treating through the Princess Meet and Greet area, they do have villains in there, and they're kind of like they are at Oogie Boogie Bash, where they're up on like a stage, and so they're interacting with guests, but they're not.
That's good.
It's not a meet and greet, so it was like a little taste of that. So maybe.
What happened to Oogie Boogie? Remember when we went to that Moonlight Magic?
Chloe, he lost his bugs.
Yeah, my bugs.
Spoiler alert, he got a
We
thread.
went to that Moonlight Magic event a couple years ago at Epcot I think it was like 2 years ago now.
Me
and I
you?
went. Yeah. And Oogie Boogie was just like, he's just like walking around near Spaceship Earth,
Oh my
like against a
gosh.
photo backdrop for photos and stuff. I think it was before character meet and greets are back to normal. So it was like still pandemic. Like you're
Yeah.
looking at characters and you can take photos of them. But like Disney World either barred or they have that.
Disney
costume for
Cruise
that
Line
character
does. He does
available,
like an
like,
after
I
hours
feel like that's
adult
such a-
thing
yeah.
on Disney Cruise Line.
Yes,
Oh,
he
that's
does.
cool.
Yeah.
We need
He's
to go on
out
a
there.
Halloween cruise. Let's plan that.
I know, for real. For real.
real.
Well, we've talked a lot about Disneyland, and guess what? There's more stuff about Disneyland right here I'm going to talk about. Because beginning in November, on evenings when Fire of the Rising Moons blasts off across the sky and Batu, guests can participate in the new Docking Bay 7 food and cargo nighttime gathering. This new dining package in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland Park offers a selection of themed bites and sips along with an unforgettable experience. You'll get to enjoy the nighttime fireworks spectacular under the spires for a truly magical evening wherever the show is on display. Okay, so let me ask you this, because this wording in this article isn't super clear to me. Do you get reserved spot for this? Because it doesn't really say that specifically.
No, and I don't really think that's necessary at Disneyland.
Okay, then what is the point of this?
It's just
a food that you could grab and go?
yeah, and I feel like they're highlighting to like stay back in Galaxy's Edge and watch fireworks instead of maybe clogging up another area.
Did you see this?
Did I see what?
I'm pointing at you, sorry. Did you see the fireworks show that I'm talking about in here?
Oh, yeah.
Did you get to see this or no?
We did.
Yeah, Hannah and I did.
Which show? I mean, I've seen fireworks back in Batu a couple
No.
times.
Okay, so for those of you who do not know, Fire of the Rising Moons you can see at Disneyland since
Oh, no,
Galaxy's
I
Edge is
haven't.
open. Whenever they have
haven't.
fireworks, you can see them in Galaxy's Edge. And they finally have tailored, which I think is actually like Disney innovation at its best. They have tailored a separate soundtrack that now plays in Galaxy's Edge that is synced to the same. So it's the same fireworks show.
I love that.
Two different shows at the same time. So like when it was the Pixar show, it was this thing back here, but the fireworks that you're seeing go with the Galaxy's Edge show. It's crazy how it worked out, but I was
done
like,
really well,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's so well, and also it's supposed to be like telling the story of the story of like the heroes of the Star Wars universe, sort of a thing, because they keep it in that theme. But like, there's a part where they are blaring Duel of the Fates back there, and you were like, yes, this is what I want
wanted.
from Galaxy's Edge.
Yep.
Yeah, hearing these iconic Star Wars songs, but the firework, it was a really cool show.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I am so excited to hear that they're bringing it back. It's interesting, this November thing though, because does that mean this is going to be tailored to the holiday fireworks, or because it was tailored to the Pixar fireworks? So that's why I'm curious to see if it'll be different at all.
So it is going to include, I'm just looking up.
Yeah.
There's more details that are coming soon, but it's going to include select bites and sips and a viewing of it. So I guess there's just
Okay.
more.
So okay. All right.
They might have like a little section roped off or something around, like Docking Bay by the Millennium Falcon, but more details coming soon. So.
Well, I do like when they have a quick service dining package, because I know at Hungry Bear they do, like, I don't want to speak definitively of it, but Hungry Bear has had fantastic dining packages, day ofs, and I feel like that's more accessible for people in larger groups on a budget with family. We can't all afford that sit down restaurant in Blue Bayou and stuff. So, hey,
Hey,
did you guys watch the Emmys? You watch the Emmys?
I watched Red Carpet.
I
you
saw
like
some
the fashion.
highlights.
I went to go watch it because Dan Levy and Eugene Levy were
Hosted.
hosting, and I have Spectrum, and they in my neighborhood they finally were like, oh, I think we're overcharging people for the HOA because we don't do anything and we're a terrible HOA. I have like basic cable now is included, and they give us a box, like this little square box that plugs in with an HDMI to watch on the TV. I don't know what happened. It doesn't work. It worked. It literally it worked before, but I haven't watched. I was a cord cutter like 15 years ago,
Yeah,
so I
same.
haven't used it because I'm not used to having it. And I went to go plug it in,
Stream
and
it
didn't
from your
work.
phone.
Well, you could only watch it with Hulu Live. And
Oh.
I was like, Hulu Live is crazy expensive, so I only have the Hulu without commercials because that's my splurge. But
You worth it.
I got that.
Did you
Hulu
get that
money.
bundle?
No, and I have to. Thank you for reminding me, because
Yeah.
Hulu's going up to $20 a
And
month
Disney Plus
without
is also
commercials.
going up.
Yeah, and so the bundle with no commercials is cheaper than the two of those
It's the
separate.
Max Hulu Disney Plus bundle. I'm talking about. Yeah.
And
Okay.
I
I'm just
feel
making
like-
sure. I'm just making sure.
I feel like I'm logged into 2 different Max accounts that aren't mine.
Oh,
I think I technically have 2 Hulu accounts. And I need to fix
I
that.
have like 3
It's
Hulu
bad.
accounts.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? I noticed somebody was watching my Hulu the other day, and I'm like, who's watching Naruto or whatever on here? So like, my nephew must have. I must have left it logged in my mom's
not-
guest room.
It's not
and
Clara.
It's. I'm watching the anime, Uncle Ray.
The anime.
That's how my niece Clara used to.
I
talk
that's
when she was a
right.
kid.
I want to meet Clara one day. She
Yeah.
sounds like an icon.
She's my alter ego.
Yeah, she would. The first time I ever met her, she was up in a treehouse in my mom's backyard. And
I love
was
this
like,
story.
Uncle Ryan. Yes, girl. I don't know. I'm in the treehouse. Like, she's a combination of Peg from Target and Bobcat Goldthwait having a nervous breakdown.
Oh my god.
And
Every
so
time you do this voice, though, it kills
I'm
me.
jumping out of the treehouse. I wish you wouldn't.
I wish you wouldn't.
I'm painting. What are you painting, Clara? It's a K for Clara. Oh, what colors are you using? Blue, greens, most of pinks.
That is
She's
Peg, the
a
Target
thespian
lady.
now, and
Of course she is.
So her voice has matured a little more, but she still had that same where she was like, we're doing a really high concept play, and it's about like not doing drugs, but everybody doesn't really get it. And she's wearing like fingerless gloves while she's talking to me,
Oh.
and I was like, God, you are such
She's
a fascinating
so
human being.
dimensional. Yes.
Oh, I love it. And she's into horror movies right now, so I keep buying her horror movies.
She
'cause
sounds like one of those new age hot topic girlies.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's like, I was like, have you seen Megan? So I bought her Poltergeist and I bought her Megan. And
Good
I'm
for
like,
you.
Yeah,
She's
so-
like,
Classic
I am
and a
Megan
newbie.
now.
That's
yeah,
good.
she's great. She's a sweet kid.
Nice.
But anyway, the reason why I asked about the Emmys and we got here, Clara, you watch the Emmys? No. I watched the Tonys.
Oh yeah, of course.
So the Walt Disney Company announced a record-breaking 60 wins at the 76th Emmy Awards achieved across its various content brands, studios, and
Wow.
platforms. These include ABC, Disney Branded Television, Disney Plus, Disney Television Studios, 20th Century Television, 20th Century Animation, and ABC Signature, FX, FX Productions, Hulu, National Geographic, and the Walt Disney Studios, 20th Century Studios,
And the Walt Disney
Lucasfilm
Studios.
Limited, and Marvel Studios.
I think we can all agree.
Good Lord, you have too
Disney
many TV
wins the game
stations.
of Monopoly, right?
Yeah.
Like they've won.
Oh, they're borderline on I feel like
They're cheating.
was it FTC or FTC violation? I feel like.
Yeah. For
So-
being an actual monopoly.
Well, here sometimes I feel like when they're like, "Oh, they won this and did this," and I'm like, "Is this a Disney show?" Because I'm like, well, how much of this was already in production before they purchased? But I feel like
Bob Iger show.
we're far enough along that it's at that point now. But Disney's FX earned 36 awards, the most ever for any of the company's brands of studios, and a historic achievement for FX itself. The series Shogun led the way with 19 awards, setting a new Television Academy record for the most wins by a single series in 1 year. The Bear also broke its own record for a comedy series, securing 11 awards in a single
Yes.
year.
Wow.
Here we go. Disney branded television's Jim Henson Idea Man is the most winning documentary of the year, securing 5 awards, including Outstanding Documentary or Nonfiction Programming. Disney's streaming platforms are home to 59 wins collectively, with 50 on Hulu and 9 on Disney Plus. Suck it, Disney Plus.
Yeah. Go Chloe.
Congratulations to Ron Howard and the crew for Jim Henson Idea Man. Disney, don't close Muppet Courtyard for
Here's
Monsters
your sign.
Incorporated. Please keep it around. That documentary is beautiful. I just
It
rewatched
is.
it the other day, and oh my goodness, I want more. Like, I want a second part, or more embellished on. But it's such a beautiful tribute.
Did
and-
you see the preview for that movie Saturday Night that Jason Reitman is directing?
Yes.
Because I think of you every time I see it, because Jim Henson, I didn't realize, was in the premiere of Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
Yeah. They talk
Yes.
about it in the documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, oh my God, Chloe needs to see this movie. Because what was the thing? They were like, they threatened to hang Big Bird or something. And I was just like, Big Bird was on Saturday Night Live? So, yeah, I'm going to have to watch it. the
Yeah,
documentary.
and congrats to the Bear. That's that we were just talking about. Like, does Disney really own the Bear? And it's just, I forget all the time. Like, that's such
Yeah.
an outside.
Is the Bear
show.
really a comedy?
Yeah. Also that.
Not this last
but-
season.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, this last season was just like.
Hey, congratulations to
drama.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Disney legend, winning her
Yeah.
a Legend Award. She's got an Academy Award, and she's got an Emmy. That woman is on fire right now.
She has been.
Yeah. She does play my mother on that show. So if anyone wants to know what a holiday is like at the
Come
No,
on.
I had
my
to watch the
family's
Christmas
household?
episode in two separate sittings. I think where I was
I
at,
watch
like,
it randomly,
mentally, too,
guys.
but-
I think that says something about me. Like, I'll randomly be like, you know what I want to watch? I want to watch the Christmas episode of The Bear.
I need to rewatch it. I think I could rewatch it now that I've gone through it, but
Yeah.
I was like, this is stressful.
Yeah, I know. It's cathartic.
You know,
for me.
What's the matter, Ma? What's the matter? I make things beautiful for them, but no one ever makes things beautiful for me.
The car.
I
the-
know.
yeah, I'm
They're
not-
shaking hands with their wine glass, and there's just like sauce everywhere.
She keeps yelling at the daughter. Like the
I
pregnancy
know.
episode stressed me out too. She was like,
That's
the
so
pregnancy.
good. Though.
I just,
Yeah.
I'll never forget. It was one of the first episodes of The Bear when I was, first watching it, and they showed a photo of him as a
John
child.
Barathol? Oh.
And I was like, is that Jamie Lee Curtis? That's Jamie Lee Curtis. That's Jamie Lee Curtis going to play the mother? And then eventually they finally
yeah.
revealed. I was like,
She said she manifested it, right? Like she watched the show.
Oh.
She had watched, or no, because she's in season 2, and this was season 3. Yeah, when she had watched season 1, she said like out loud in her living room, she said, "I want to play the mother," and like so
I
she.
need to figure out when that photo was shown. It had to have been when they already secured her and hired her. Cause,
Yeah.
But it
well,
was a
that
quick like glance at a photo, and I was like, "That's Jamie Lee Curtis." Oh my god!
Well, it's
Yeah.
crazy. She is phenomenal in
Yeah.
that, and that Christmas
seems so
episode
cool.
stressed me. Also, randomly John Mulaney in that episode, and then
Yeah,
Sarah
so good.
Paulson too. And you're like, what?
Yes.
And then Bob
Oh,
Odenkirk,
man.
and you're like, oh my god, what room are they going to walk into next? Who's in the next
Uh-huh.
room?
Odenkirk was in it. Yeah, he's excellent. I need to watch that episode.
Yeah, because they
again.
do that whole moo or whatever the John Barathol's making
That'll
the
be my
noise or whatever.
post Halloween Thanksgiving time watch.
I haven't watched Shogun yet, but I
haven't either.
have heard it is just a fun. Well, obviously, I mean the Emmys and everything, but before that, I had heard phenomenal show, phenomenal acting. I know that the two leads, who I believe each won an award, also breaking barriers in that category as well. It seems like just it's one of those. There is FX makes some top notch television programming. It's
They
crazy. Like,
do, except I'm waiting for American Horror Story to get good again.
girl, I don't think that's going to happen.
I know,
You see
but
the
every
preview?
year I'm like, maybe this is the year. And
You see the preview for that new one?
yeah. Are you talking about
It's like
it's the episodes that come out before the main season?
no,
right?
there's the anthology, the short story show, which
Yeah,
is American
okay.
Horror Stories.
No, I've only
but then there's
seen-
another one that has like Niecy Nash, the
Oh,
woman
I
who was a
love her,
monster.
though.
And this one's about like a serial killer, and she has a nun that's like with her the
Okay,
whole time or
okay.
something.
well, I love her, so I think
Yeah.
has potential.
Well, Chloe and I saw the activation for it at D23, and
Yeah.
it's a weird. It's like somebody in the chat will say it or in the comments. It's like gastronomic because I was like I don't know.
You're
Look
like,
it up.
what?
But it does look creepy.
Look
But
it up.
also
Okay,
affects
look it up.
what we do in the shadows.
Oh, I know. Final season.
I know.
In like what? A
October.
month?
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, we are going to move on to another section of the show that I'd like to start doing as regularly as we can, and I'm going to call it, I think, Disney Deals. Basically, it's just I want to kind of highlight some of the deals for people that maybe are starting to plan a vacation or are planning a vacation or maybe who are just like curious or anything like that. And obviously, we have Hannah on the show pretty much all the time, and she is a Dreams Unlimited
live
travel
here.
agent, and Teresa as well. So, Hannah, I saw an article that was something about Disney Cruise Line discounts for the week. I know that's a regular
Yes.
article. Were there some highlights? Just take us through
Girl.
it. Give us some of those Disney discounts.
I am so glad that you asked. All right, here we go. So one thing you should know about Disney Cruise Line is people a lot of times are like, should I wait for a discount? When should I book? And for the most part, if it's a in-demand cruise, is demand-based pricing. So the sooner or the closer you get to the sale date and the more it's booked, the higher the price. However, for cruises where there's availability, they will sometimes offer an inside guaranteed rate, an ocean view guaranteed rate, or a veranda guaranteed rate. And you might be saying, what the heck is that? So what
she was my favorite character on Sex and the City. Oh, that's Miranda. Sorry, go ahead, Miranda.
Yep, I'd like to think of myself as Miranda. Anyways, so right now there's some really great veranda guarantee rates. They're called VGT for shorts. And what it means is you book it's a discounted rate, usually about 20% off is the discount. And Disney Cruise Line assigns a stateroom to you. So you know that you're getting a veranda, but you don't know what deck. Are you at the forward of the ship, the aft of the ship? You are somewhere on the ship in a veranda stateroom. The great thing about these rates is not only are you saving money, but usually because Disney Cruise Line can be expensive, the higher rate verandas, like say maybe the ones midship or on a higher deck, or the family verandas that are a little bit bigger, that's usually what they have more inventory of. So Disney assigns a stateroom for you. You usually don't know until, a couple weeks before the cruise. But it's a great way to get basically an upgrade and a little bit of a savings. And right now, there are rates as early as the last week of September, and they run right now. This will change.
Like September 2024.
Yeah, in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
You could get on a cruise. And then they run all the way through the end of November for now. So this is like some of the most of these I've seen in a long time. So you can sail on the brand new Disney Wish, you can sail on the Dream, you can sail on the Fantasy, you can sail on the Wonder. So pretty much everything's available. So go over to dclfan.com and you can check all that out. And then on top of that, just a little shameless plug, you can get a $1,000 shipboard credit for booking with Dreams Unlimited. So you get a discount.
Basket.
Yeah, you get a gift basket with some very cool things that you didn't even know that you needed for your cruise, but now you will because you booked with us. And then you get that sweet cash money to spend at, Castaway Key, on board, the spa, get you a little souvenir, anything you want.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself, 2024. So... Also, can we talk about more discounts?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So let's take it.
No, we're done. No one can save money here. Shut the program down.
All right. So we're going to land now. So at Walt Disney World, Miss Claffley, I said her name wrong. Claffley.
Claffley. Yeah, Claffley.
Let me say that again. Miss Kathy Whirling, one of our other Dreams Unlimited travel agents, she wrote an article with 5 money-saving tips for your Walt Disney World vacation. This is on wdwinfo.com. And I also just want to say really quick, there is a forum, or there's a budget board on the Dis boards, and it has a lot of really great tips and tricks from viewers and listeners and guests that have, they found the workaround for
the
this.
People on those boards are like, you want to talk about someday they're going to solve a murder. They're that type of, you know what I mean?
Could.
It's like that type of
yeah.
dedication and investigation and everything like that. Like I can't even, like my brain can't handle. These people have got this down to a science. It's insane.
Well, and it's a
great
good
resource
place too to ask questions too. So if you see a discount and you're wondering if it's like applicable to you, just go over to the board to ask a question. So some of these tips include. So this is I do this one actually a lot. If you have a Target Red card, you get 5% off of your purchases at Target, which also includes Disney gift cards. And then sometimes, like Target Circle Week, Black Friday, they'll offer an additional discount on gift cards, so you can get 10%
this is
off.
crazy. I didn't know this, and I'm a Target Red. Like, I'm one of those people where I was like, this is what it like. I don't know. Like I go in, I don't want to say cocky, but it makes me feel powerful to be in a Target.
You go to Target a lot.
Oh, almost like multiple times.
Are you a
week.
paid Target Circle member?
What's that?
Oh, he doesn't know.
What is that?
I'll tell you later. That's for Discount Divas only.
Oh.
So that's a great way to just easily save money right off the bat. Also, so Disney gift card, there's a website. And so let's say you buy gift cards, sporadically. You can combine all those gift cards into one.
Yeah.
And that's really valuable because you're going to hang on to that gift card after your vacation, because if Disney has to refund you, then it's going to go back to that original form of payment, even if it's gift cards. So you want to hang on to that. Also, you can buy discount gift cards at Sam's Club, Costco, things like that. If you're a AAA member, they offer discounts as well. And then working with a travel agent is a great resource because Disney is constantly releasing discounts, but it's complicated. So it'll be like, okay, we're now offering a dining promotional card, or this 3 weeks of the year at these certain resorts. And so it helps having somebody who can just kind of check that for you and repeatedly check. Because anytime you book a Walt Disney World package, we can continue to apply discounts to that and get you the savings back. So, yeah, I think it's just some of my highlights. Do you guys have any tips and tricks how to save money at Walt Disney World?
I mean, I know it's one of those things. I've seen you do it when we've traveled before. Is that I think if you really want to get down to it and you've like crunched the numbers, I honestly think doing a what do you call it?
Oh, like an Instacart, like a grocery
Instacart order or something like that. I know sometimes it's like, whatever, but it will. I think the snacking thing is a problem for me. So having a backpack full of snacks that I brought with me really does help me, because I think I suffer from the movie theater thing where like the second you're in a movie theater, you're like, I need popcorn. And you don't really always need the popcorn, but you do need the popcorn.
I
yeah.
do.
And so it's one of those where I've gotten that way with like a Disney park where it's sort of a thing. So for me, a money saving thing, if I'm really like, okay, Rhino, save it. I want to save that money and use it for something else. Whether it's like, okay, this trip we're doing, we're going to do a fun sit-down meal somewhere. And you're like, okay, that means I have to cut out the snacks a little bit. That, for me, saves a big amount of money. Also, I find that, like, specifically like when I travel to Disneyland and stuff like that, if I don't have that stuff in the room, I'm going in there to buy you're like, okay, that's a breakfast, lunch, and dinner situation too. Mama needs to eat. So I like to have like the little applesauce packets and like granola bar, like something to eat first thing in the morning. And that does help me have a better day. But that's my that's a big one for me.
It helps you with packing if you're flying. Sometimes I will wait to buy like toiletries, or like I have a little one. So like I don't pack diapers. I just Instacart them when I get there. That saves you so much room in your luggage. Water bottles, drinks, coffee, things like that.
Yeah, reusable water bottle is a huge one for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you should have that anyways, because dehydration is no joke in these parks, and it happens so quickly at Walt Disney World with the humidity. It's one of those where it might not even feel like heat hot, like 100 and whatever. It could be low, but it's still that humidity can really zap it out of you really quick.
Yeah. Chloe, what you got?
I mean, you already mentioned my biggest one is the Target gift cards. That's such a huge thing. Even not only Disney World, but also Disney Cruise. Like when you're paying off your cruise in increments, just like picking up 50, 100, however much you need to kind of split up your payments on a monthly plan. I always used to do that, and it made it so much easier. And by the end of it, I saved hundreds of dollars just by buying the gift cards at Target. It's insane. The other thing is if you're looking to splurge at a resort and you want to stay somewhere special, you don't have to stay at that resort your entire stay. You can split it up, especially if you take a step back and just plan out your trip in advance of like, okay, I'm going to do 3 hot and heavy park days, like rope drop.
I'm listening.
To rope close or to park close.
I'm listening.
And
then,
I'm not letting you live it down.
I should have used a different terminology there. Whoops. And then you take like a pool day, or you take like a Disney Spring shopping day, or an off-site day somewhere else in Orlando. Plan out what you'd like to do, and then kind of build where you're going to stay into that. So you could stay at Pop Century or somewhere for your first leg of your trip where you're in the parks on those heavy park days. And then when you're looking to take a break, like if you want to stay at the beach club for a Stormalong Bay access for a couple of days, or if you want to stay at the Polynesian and splurge on that, or the Grand Floridian, what have you, just take that in consideration. It's also a fun thing to like split up the theming of where you're at, and it might give you a better idea of how you like to enjoy your vacation, and you save some money instead of staying the entire time at a deluxe.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think of just like little other things. Like I when Chloe just said what she said, I was thinking about how at the cabins, one of the things I love so much is really having that space to be like, oh yeah, we should definitely bring food in here, and you want to experience it there. And but you make a really great point about, I think, opening yourself up to more experiences by doing that in this sort of way is really a great idea. I think it's a good start to some of those. I think we should let our audience let us know about some of those. So we would love some comments with some fun money saving tips, and we could incorporate that into the show for next week. Maybe.
Yeah.
That would be I think that would be a lot of fun. But I think that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Diz Unlimited podcast. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Chloe.
Thank you, Rhino.
I'm glad that we had this hot and heavy episode of the Diz Unlimited podcast. I hope everyone took some liquid IV before they got involved in it. But no.
That's how the days are here. They're hot and heavy with humidity, okay?
Heavy day. Would you have a heavy day? Yeah.
Everybody have a hot and heavy day. Thank you.
Oh, we found Chloe's new sign off. There we go. Love it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you are watching this on YouTube, hit that thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you click that bell button, you'll get notified whenever we put out some new content out there. It comes out all throughout the week, different times of the day. It'll help you keep track of it. Lots of dining reviews coming up and fun things like that. And if you are listening to this, please, when you have the opportunity, rate and review the podcast whenever you get a chance. And don't forget, Patreon supporters, don't go anywhere because we will be coming to you live for the Patreon post show today. And again, if you want to learn more about that, head over to patreon.com/DizUnlimited. And don't forget about Dreams Unlimited Travel when booking your next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line vacation, Universal Studios vacation too. Hello, Epic Universe, right around the corner. But there's also a great deal. Talk about money saving tips. Dips. I love dips. I feel like Martin Short and Only Murders in the Building. Yeah. But there really is a great deal over there right now with a $1,000 dining gift card that you can get, combined with if you stayed in one of the hotels that gives you Express Pass. Like, what I feel like there's never been a better time to visit Universal Studios. So just something to think about. And we do have our Universal Studios podcast, which is the Universal show, and you'll find that on all the normal places.
We just did that Disney versus Universal show, which I feel like Disney fans would also get a kick out of because we had some hot takes.
Yeah, we did. We tried to match up all of the attractions at Universal Studios Florida that had counterpart attractions at Walt Disney World, and then we said, like, which do we prefer? And I think the results will surprise a lot of people.
Yeah.
But
and then we're doing Islands attractions next compared to likeness at Disney World.
And then we're going to do some others as well. We'll do dining and things like that. I think it just helps people, like, when they're going into unfamiliar territory, like what to expect and things like that. So kind of celebrating both attractions in the process. But we're always open to future topics, future places to dine, anything like that. So please feel free to let us know where and what you want us to talk about and where you want us to go. And I think that's going to do it. I don't have a sign off, but just remember, I don't have one. The end.